Radio Disney.
Yes, I want to be invited to perform. That's usually the goal. That's what I like.
Ooh, if I was invited to perform at the AMAs,
What would
yes.
you sing?
I'd probably sing something like Gangnam Style.
You just make your own.
Did
like
you walk
Missy
the
Elliott.
carpet last night?
No, we did not. We went straight to the stage. I was like one of the first ones. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So do you have to go through like rehearsals and stuff first, or?
Yeah, we were there like from 10 a.m. like all day,
Gotcha.
and then it went to we were right in line for the first of the show. So
Nice. Okay, well, I want to kind of get the whole kind of lead up to a huge show like that.
Yeah.
Because there were so many people there. But first, let's welcome Kelly Clarkson to take over Radio Disney.
Yeah.
Welcome, Kelly, American Music Awards performer last night.
Yes.
And that's always the goal, you said?
Yes,
To at
that
least
is
be
always my
invited to
goal.
perform on the show?
Well, I just like to perform on. Yeah, that's my goal. Like, it's always awesome. I like to be nominated and I like that kind of stuff. But my big thing is like I like performing, obviously.
So this was one of the questions I had planned for like later in the interview, but I'll go ahead and ask it now since we're talking about performing. But
Yeah.
is it a little more nerve-wracking performing for basically because it's an audience of your peers?
No, honestly, it's not like this because everybody was really, especially last night, like right from the beginning, everybody was on their feet clapping, because
Yeah.
it's like a greatest hits medley, so it's all up tempo and kind of, and they're all like little reminders of like, songs of, Miss Independent, God, that was just like a decade ago.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of fun to like be like, oh man, I know this song, like, so everybody was really, really cool and into it. And I don't know, I don't ever get nervous regardless who it is. I just like singing for people. I don't care if they're like fans or, peers or whatever.
Well, this is Kelly Clarkson hanging out and taking over Radio Disney. We got more with her on the way, but one of the songs that she actually had in her medley last night, let's play it right now. Since You've Begun, here you go. It's on Radio Disney. Taking over Radio Disney, American Music Awards performer last night, but you also have a greatest hits album
I do.
coming out or out.
Or today.
Out today.
Yeah, I just found that. I was like, well, because usually it's Tuesdays, and I was like, wait, it's the 19th though, right? I was like, so that's today.
That's
I was
today.
like, I thought it was tomorrow, but it's today.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that a little bit later on, but what's the family doing for Thanksgiving?
Well, for Thanksgiving, my boyfriend and I are doing my family, and then for Christmas, we're doing his family.
Okay.
So we'll do North Carolina Christmas and Nashville, Tennessee. No, Nashville, Tennessee Christmas, North Carolina Thanksgiving. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know if you were like singing any national anthems at any
No,
football
you know
games
what?
or anything like
we
that.
actually were asked, and I was like, you know what? It's like I'm still freaked out from the Super Bowl. I was like, my manager was like, oh, they've been asking you, and I'm like, it's just in February, and it was just I don't normally get nervous, but I was pretty
You were
nervous.
nervous for that.
Yeah, well, and it made me more nervous because, like, they always put up the words for everyone, but the problem is like, the words come after you've sung that verse. So, like, I would say, oh, say, can you see? And then, oh, say, can you see? would pop up on the screen. And then I'd say the next line, and it's like, well, that's, like, entirely not helpful. Like, yeah. So, and that made me more nervous because I was like, I'm going to mess up because I'm looking at that. Like, it was and everybody kept doing, like, the don't mess up like Christina to me. And I'd be like, good God. Like, and I'm like, anyone could mess up at any time. There's a lot of pressure on that song.
I know there is. And that's
Yeah.
one of the things, like, if you mess up that song, you're not just going to have, like, people saying, hey, by the way, you messed up.
And people don't
Rocket's
remember if
Red
you do
Glare.
well. They remember if you do poorly. So, even you could do the best job ever and people forget that. But, like, if you mess it up, you are just, wow.
But I thought that was kind of one of the more memorable national anthems in recent Super Bowl memory for
Well,
me.
thank you, but I kind of never want to experience it again. I was really nervous.
So what do you and your family do for Thanksgiving?
We're big. Obviously, we're all big cookers. We eat and bake and do that kind of stuff. And I don't know. We just hang, play games, and we don't see each other for a lot of the year. So,
Right.
you usually only see your family, or I usually don't see mine because I'm working all the time, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. So, you make the most of it, have a good time.
Yeah, like what kind of games do you play? Because we play this game called Quelf. Have you heard of
Quelf,
this
I know
game?
Quelf.
You know
yes.
Quelf? It's
yeah.
fun, right?
We don't play Quelf, but I do know Quelf. We play like Monopoly or the game that lasts forever. Yeah, that's the one we play. And by the end of it, we're all like, "Can you just buy my property? Just buy it out. Just lay it on my property."
Well,
yeah.
Monopoly's like one of those games that could outlast like 7 hours.
Yeah.
If you're not careful, and it gets in the way of eating.
Monopoly can outlast war. It's the longest game ever.
Yeah, it could outlast football, and I don't want to I like watching my football games and eating.
We usually do it once, so we'll play Monopoly or Sorry or stuff like that. So.
Yeah, something quick. That's a good game right there. Olivia Holt singing right now. Of course, more with Kelly Clarkson. We got that next on Radio Disney. Not Kelly Clarkson. Well, she is taking over, but that was Alicia Keys right there. Girl on Fire. By the way, you want to call? Say hey. 1-877-870-5670. Now, Kelly's going to be taking some phone calls a little bit later on, but we were talking about Thanksgiving and what they do, and we were talking about board games. So just like quick, easy games then.
Yeah, because usually we let my, nieces and nephews play with us. So you can't really,
So is it the goal? Is the goal to
annihilate everyone?
Beat Aunt Kelly, or is the goal?
No, the goal is for I'm gonna win. Yeah.
Are you ultra competitive at that stuff?
Oh my God, not just me, my sister, my mother, my brother. They'll all say like the other one's more competitive, but we're all entirely competitive.
Do you have board game cheaters in your family?
No, that is one thing we don't have.
Okay.
Man, you will get kicked out of our house in a hot second. We don't like cheaters. We're like serious about rules as well.
That's awesome.
It's weird. We're like weird.
So is there trash talking that goes on after the game is over?
Yeah, totally. Or during. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta make it fun.
See right now. So what was the idea behind putting together a greatest hits album? Because I mean, like you said, Miss Independent, you go back 10 years. Like these songs have been.
Well, actually, it was my label's idea because I was like, what? I kind of think that's cheesing sometimes as an artist. Like when you put out I'm like, seriously, you can put out a new album? Like that's how I think. And that's what I told my label, and and they brought it up, and they were like, well, it's kind of cool, though, that you can celebrate a decade that, like, you've only been doing it for 10 years, and you already can have the greatest hits before 30. Like, you're 30 right now, or before your 30s. And they said, you usually on a record, you only get 3, maybe 4 singles anyway.
Right.
And we're going to put 3 new singles on the record, so it's just kind of a cool compilation, plus they get 3 new singles, so it's kind of cool. And then I added some stuff, like the I'll Be Home for Christmas and, like, a live version of, just to make it worth, you know what I'm saying? I always hate cheating the fans ever because I was that kid that couldn't afford like a lot. So, I want to make sure it's worth it.
Definitely. Well, we'll talk about her new song that she has off actually one of the 3 new songs, Catch My Breath. We'll talk about that after McLean's sisters sing Go on Radio Disney. AD hanging out with Kelly Clarkson. Now, we were talking about the addition of 3 new songs on her brand new CD, her Greatest Hits Chapter 1. Now, was that kind of the deal breaker for you, Kelly, that you had to have new music on this thing or something that the fans have never experienced before in order to do this? You put in 3 new singles and some other things that the fans haven't heard yet.
Yes, that was I was really adamant about that just because, like I said, I just don't like cheating any fans on that kind of stuff of like, oh, here's all the songs you have, but like they're all on one CD. It's like what? Like it's like stupid. So we put on some special stuff on the album just to make sure that it was like unique, and then actually what they did, the art directors like with the album. They did a really cool thing, compiled all these different photos from the past, and it was just kind of a little cool booklet in there as well. Yeah,
do you sit there and you look at that thing, you're like, man, I remember this day.
It was pretty funny. I didn't actually know they were going to do it like that, because I kind of just let them run with the book idea. I was like, I think if we're going to do it, I'm only 30. I was like, I'm going to call it Chapter 1, so people know that like there's more. I'm not done.
Right.
And so I kind of let them run with that idea, and they brought back this whole cool kind of concept.
All right, well, we got more with Kelly Clarkson. Your phone call. Kelly Clarkson is taking over and taking phone calls. Emily's on the phone. Go ahead.
I just want to know, how is it like to have a big album?
A greatest hits album. Did you ever think that you would have a greatest hits album?
First of all, you have the cutest voice in the world. And secondly, no, you know what? I didn't. And I didn't think I'd have one this year before they told me about it. So, it's just, I'm only 30 years old. So it is kind of it's quite a feat. But at the same time, it's kind of weird, because you're like, wait, I'm 30. But, what does that mean? I'm old?
No, you're still so young.
But it feels old to have a greatest hit. So, but it is cool though. Like, whenever to answer her question, like, whenever I got the actual CD, like in its finished product form, like it was pretty cool to like see all the songs in the back and go, wow, those were all like pretty spectacular moments for me, like personally and business wise. So it's pretty cool.
And we talk about the one that she remembers the most. We will do that. Kelly Clarkson taking over right now, but Kelly Clarkson's taking over. What song on your greatest hits album has, I guess, the best story behind it?
Definitely Because of You, because I fought really hard because everybody knows me as a singer, but not everybody knows me as a writer, like right off the bat. So I fought really hard to like start writing on the album, and even though I wrote on Miss Independent and like some of the other songs on my first album, they still didn't like Because of You, and I really had to fight to get it on the second one as well, and it finally was on Breakaway, and just the fact that everybody embraced it went like, huge #1 worldwide for me, like that really like helped me as a writer towards the people I work with going, oh, so it was kind of a big moment for me.
And it kind of does validate all the work that you've been putting into it at that point, because if you're sitting there fighting for something and then you see #1 worldwide, you're like, I told you!
Yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah, no, it is, and it's something to, like, go back on and be like, no, wait, I've been a part of, like, some pretty successful projects, not just singing, so, yeah.
So Since You've Been Gone is on the album because of you.
Yeah, all of them. Walk Away, Hazel Eyes, already gone, all of them, so.
It's a Kelly party, and we will chill if we want to.
No one told me, I don't know anything. I just show up and sing.
But don't worry, there's more.
Lights, Ernie D, and Kelly Clarkson taking over now. She had mentioned, you had mentioned, Kelly, that there were 3 new tracks on the album.
Yeah.
One of the 3 new tracks, Catch My Breath.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk. You performed that on the American Music Awards last night.
We closed with it, yeah. It was so weird. I've never done a medley, like, anywhere before, so I was like, no, and it was just really, like, you couldn't really invest in the song. So it was kind of like, it was cool because we were showing everybody what's on the album and just a little reminder, but at the same time, it was just kind of like, and we're done with that one and we're on to the next song, and it was, yeah. But by the time we got to Catch My Breath, we sang the most of that song, and it's just cool because it, being introduced by Randy, obviously from Idol, and then that whole, like, recap of those songs in my life from different albums, and then ending with something that's kind of wraps it all up. I wrote it specifically for the Greatest Hits album with my musical director who's been with me since the beginning, so perfect writing partner, and yeah, we just wrote it about the ups and downs of the career and then where I'm at. I'm really happy, and it's just a happy song that kind of recaps the ups and downs.
Well, here you go. Happy song that recaps the ups and downs. Catch My Breath on Radio Disney. Performed at the American Music Awards last night. So let's talk about the shoes that you had on last night.
Oh, shoot. God, those shoes are
okay,
like...
hang on. So when you were getting ready, did you know that you were going to wear those monsters?
No. Like, we actually had a completely different outfit planned for last night. And then we were like, well, this is kind of like, it's kind of not boring, but it was kind of plain for, like, a Greatest Hits, like, bam. Like, kind of. So we had this other dress that was a backup dress that was way more, like, just a statement. We did. It was, like, way more of a statement. And the shoes she brought out, I was like, oh, like, and I'm gonna have to wear those and walk around, and I'm not Beyonce, y'all. That does not happen on the norm for me. So anyway, they were awesome shoes, though. They look spectacular. So,
but when you put them on, like, they immediately make you feel like 3 or 4 inches taller than you already are.
Which makes me feel so powerful because I'm so short. So I mean, being 5'3.5" is pretty upsetting.
But then walking around in them, because for people that listen to us, like, and especially guys like me, I don't walk around in shoes like that.
Oh, honey, I don't walk around in shoes like that. I mean, yeah, I don't. I mean, there's no given day where I'm pulling out those to go to Target. So, yeah, like, but I totally was a cocktail waitress, for the first, last part of my teens into my 20s. So, yeah, I mean, I'm used to walking in heels. If you're a girl, you have to wear them.
All right, more with Kelly Clarkson on the way. Ross Lynch singing Now Celebrity Take over now, and more questions from you, the fans. Hello, Michaela in New York City. Michaela, are you there?
Yeah.
Go ahead. What's your question for Kelly?
What's your favorite part of writing and recording?
Ooh, good question. You know what? My favorite part is getting into the studio after you've written the song and you're kind of developing the background vocals and the production of it, and you're really getting to, like, I don't know, the song becomes something completely different usually than when you first initially write it. So, but yeah, it's just cool to kind of work with another, like a producer, get in there with them and see what's in their head and where they think it should go and then where you think it should go, and then kind of match that all up. But I don't know, I think, getting in the studio and actually figuring out the production and the vocals is really my favorite part.
Which song, I guess, when you got into the studio, I guess, which song do you remember that you do remember had the biggest, I guess, change from writing to recording?
Ooh, interesting. Wow, that's a lot of them, actually. But I guess I would say probably Never Again. Never Again is, like, kind of on the Mighty December. That started out, like, with an acoustic guitar, and, like, we didn't really know where we were going to go. And then it, it was just kind of trying to emote, like, what I wrote the song about. So that probably had the most change.
The most change. Nice. All right, well, we're going to wrap this up with Kelly Clarkson in a couple of minutes. But Philip, anything that you want to say to all your fans, Kelly?
You know what? Just to thank you. Like, it hit me. I had, like, the cheesiest moment last night on stage when Jackson was introducing me before my performance, and I had my little number on that we were doing from Idol and everything, and it just kind of hit me, like, it was like, wow, like, I've worked with some really great people, and I had a really great career, and just really excited about the future, and yeah, I don't know, it's just really cool to be 30 and have a Greatest Hits. I think it just hit me. I was super proud. So yeah, and
you have to be proud. Like, I would, if I accomplish something like that, it's like,
and it goes by so fast that you don't really realize, like, what you've accomplished. So it's nice to sit back and enjoy it. So
that's awesome. All right, well, on that note, everybody give it up for Kelly Clarkson. Taking over Radio Disney. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
coming
me.
in. I was going to say I would try to wear those shoes, but you didn't bring them with you.
Lord, I burned them. They're gone. Yeah.